Welcome to Yeukai Business Show, UK's premier business show where we feature business thought leaders, high achievers, and industry experts. Today's episode is brought to you by World Outsourcing Solutions Limited, a company that specializes in helping executive business owners with virtual assistant services and business growth systems. Here's your host, Yeukai Kajidori.
Hello, it's Yeukai Kajidori here, and on behalf of my business partner Trevor Stockwell and the amazing team here at World Outsourcing Solutions, I want to welcome you to this special episode of Enlightened Entrepreneur. You can find us at worldoutsourcingsolutions.com, where we specialize in providing business owners from all walks of life with highly trained, highly skilled virtual assistants. We are the go-to center of all your outsourcing needs based here in the United Kingdom. Hi, welcome again to another episode of Enlightened Entrepreneur. Today with me is a gentleman by the name Dave Schneider, who is the co-founder of Ninja Outreach, which is an innovative new bloggers outreach software for marketers like you and me. He writes about business and entrepreneurship at Self-Made Businessmen and enjoys traveling. Now, what is remarkable about Dave is he started the business a little over a year ago. And within a very short space of time has managed to create a 5-figure recurring income thanks to the software which he's going to be talking about today. Welcome to the call, David. Thanks for agreeing to be with us today.
Yeah, no problem.
Excellent. And, it's such a pleasure to have individuals like yourself who can start a company, from scratch and within a period of 12 months manage to, to create recurring income. Now, to get us started, how did you get started in the world of business?
Yeah, I think it had to do with, several years ago, about 4 or so, my girlfriend and I quit our jobs and we wanted to go traveling. And we didn't necessarily have a plan for what we were going to do in terms of how we were going to make money, but we knew that, we wanted to travel around, backpack, see a lot of countries, and try to earn money online. So we started a travel blog. And we started learning about SEO and traffic generation and writing content and guest posting and all those different things. And eventually, we started earning money from that. It took a few months, but eventually we got there. And then we replaced our full-time incomes within about a year. And from then on, I moved on to some different projects, and now I'm on Ninja Outreach, which is the one that you introduced me as. And it's taken a few years to kind of get here, but that's where we've ended up.
Incredible. Now you have a very interesting, story about how you go to this, 5-figure recurring income. Would you share with us the basic steps that you took to get this project running?
Yeah, the short answer is it really is a lot of hard work. I mean, we've been working on the project now for, over a year, and effectively, last year when we launched it in January, we had a goal of getting to $10,000 monthly recurring revenue. And it was, an attainable goal if things went well and we did the right things, but it was definitely not going to be an easy one. And when we launched in January, I could see that we were on a trajectory to do significantly less than that, like only $4,000 monthly recurring by the end of the year. So we started making adjustments in the way we did marketing, getting more aggressive with content marketing, SEO, and then hiring an additional developer to make the product better, and all these different types of things to essentially accelerate growth. And luckily, a year later, we were able to say that we did hit that goal. Just made it, and I think that having that goal in mind throughout the entire year was what made the difference.
Incredible. Talking about goals right now, at the beginning of the year, how did you set that goal? Because a lot of people do set goals, but they never hit those goals. What did you do different that enables you to do this?
Well, one thing was that instead of having a lot of different goals, we had one. We had one goal to get $10,000 in monthly recurring revenue, and it made it very easy to remember that goal because it was the only one we were focusing on. Typically, people may have, 5, 10 different goals, and then after a few weeks, you kind of even forget what they were. But when you just have one, and it's what they call like a SMART goal, which is an acronym, and I don't remember all of the different abbreviations there, but it's essentially that it's measurable, that it's actionable, that we had one of these SMART goals, we could track our progress throughout the year and then continue to make adjustments and be flexible on the fly to make sure we were on track.
Incredible. Now, you use software. Can you talk us about the project which that got you to that recurring income?
Sure. So, a lot of it has to do, obviously, with marketing and generating traffic. That's how people come to the website, sign up. It's basically how we get customers. We use a lot of different tools for each, specialty, whether it's email marketing, we use, Drip, whether it's, our affiliate program, we use OSI affiliate, whether it's a marketing software, we use our own software, Ninja Outreach, so we do use a lot of different tools. The main one that we use is honestly our own software because it is a marketing software, and we use it to find bloggers and influencers to connect with, to feature in our content and do guest posts with and partner with to basically generate more
Incredible.
traffic for the website.
Incredible. Obviously, it works because it's at a very good price point. I was looking at it earlier on, prior to our conversation here, that you have your pricing point structured that it is use of even a beginner can use it and they can afford it as well.
Yeah, it's only $29 a month at the lowest plan. Anybody who's starting out and is trying to grow an online business should have really at least that budget to do so. It's very hard to just build a business without any money whatsoever. So in that sense, it is very affordable. When we launched the tool, last year, some of the competitors that are still around today are charging, $10,000 a year, which is just not really affordable for an individual entrepreneur. They're geared more towards large agency and enterprise. So we want to differentiate ourselves and be a product that everybody could use and afford.
Incredible. Now let's talk about how you got your first client, because this is a brand new business. And many of our listeners here, they're actually starting their business. And, how did you do that?
Well, a lot of the ways that we get clients is basically they come to the website and then they check out. And it's in some ways it's as simple as that. It's a completely no-touch experience. We don't call them, email them necessarily. They can just come to the landing page, go to the pricing page, put in their details, and then start using the product. And although some people do reach out and we have like live chat in the application and customer support and things like that, 80 and 90% of people are just going to go about their business and use it themselves because it's at a reasonable price. And when you're at that type of a price point, people feel comfortable just doing everything themselves. So the question is really, how do you generate that traffic in the first place and getting that first client? And for us, that was a process of months in the making. It was start, blogging every week, reach out to influencers, asking them to, maybe give us quotes and participate in the content or share what we had written, and just build up that buzz so that when we did launch in January and we were live to finally commercially sell to the website, we were already getting a few thousand visitors a month, which is not that much, but it's enough that, people should be signing up to the tool and paying for it. And that was how our first customer came.
I assume you use the exactly same strategies right now to market your business, or have you added new strategies to that?
We're always experimenting with different types of marketing channels that could potentially work, but more often than experimenting with a new channel, we're simply trying to double down on the ones that we feel are working. So we analyze the traffic sources that we get. What's converting? Is it SEO from Google Organic? Is it direct traffic from the email list? And then we think about, well, how can we drive more of that with what we're already doing? Maybe we are more aggressive with our blog content and our content creation and promotion, or we do better keyword research, or just do it at all to improve the SEO of the website.
Incredible. And, if you were to advise somebody who is getting started, because a lot of our listeners are getting started in business world, what would you say the best, get a way to get started with marketing?
I think, firstly, I guess you kind of have maybe a couple different options, but, firstly, you really just need to learn. You just need to learn a lot. When I wanted to start the software business last year, I didn't really know that much about software, to be honest, and I've learned a lot through this software business while being in the business and running it, but also just reading a lot of articles that people write about the different types of marketing and retention and churn and onboarding and all these different pricing. Just reading articles that people are writing, you just teach yourself and you learn and you get introduced to different tools and tactics and things that are important. And eventually, when you have a business, you can implement them and apply them to that business, and then you learn more. You learn like what it actually means. So it really comes down to you have to start something. You have to be doing something in order to basically be learning from it on hands-on. But you also need to be educating yourself and reading a lot because there's a lot of great information out there.
Incredible. Let's look at how your day is like, as somebody who works primarily from home and doing extremely well, running a business that is generating a 5-figure income every month. What does your day look like?
Typically, when I get up, first things I'm doing is I'm checking the team communication and I'm checking my emails. Emails are more around maybe customer support. Team communication is more about what's going on, what are people working on. We have about 10 or so employees working on the business. They are from all over the world. Some of them are in Europe, Asia, so they tend to start their day earlier than I do. And when I get up, I want to make sure that I'm not creating a bottleneck for any of the employees, making sure that they can get their work done, that they have their questions answered, that they have the resources and the documents that they need. So that's always my number one priority when I get up. After that, I maybe have some meetings scattered throughout the day. It could be customer calls, sales, marketing, onboarding, podcast interview like this, just different things like that. And then in between that, there's just tasks that just come up. I mean, there's just those things that I respond to in the morning, they just come up throughout the day. An email comes in or somebody needs help, and you can spend the majority of the day really just doing that, just kind of enabling people to do their job and prioritizing their tasks and just, occasionally maybe making a little bit of headway on some marketing, like writing a blog post or a guest post or something like that.
Incredible. Now, you talked about communicating with your team. One of the things we do here at World Outsourcing Solutions is, we specialize in building virtual teams. I'm wondering, how do you communicate with your virtual team? Because you have more than 10 people already working with you.
Yeah, when we originally did it, we were using things like Skype and Google Hangouts to just have individual conversations and group chats when needed. But eventually, as the team grows, I think you find that is really not an efficient way to run a remote team because there's too many different conversation permutations that need to happen in order to effectively run the organization. And if you don't have a more centralized system, then it just doesn't work. So we use Glip, which is not really that common, actually. I think Slack and HipChat are more common.
Say that again.
Sorry, what?
What is the name of what you use?
Oh, it's Glip. It's GLIP. It's basically like a Slack or a HipChat option. It's essentially, just think of it as a centralized chat system for the team where we can have individual group discussions for things related to, product or customer service or whatever it is. And then it also functions a little bit as task management as well. So we've been on that now for the last few months, and it's really helped the team work more efficiently.
Incredible. What we've covered so far, if you were to to start over again in creating a business, what do you know now that you wish you had known back then?
There's a lot of things. Some of them are very technical, for example, and related specifically to our business. For example, we use PayPal as our payment processor when we first launched, and PayPal is really not good for subscription businesses. Stripe, for example, is really a lot more. I don't know if it's fair to say it's more common, but I think it's definitely easier to use and a better solution for SaaS, monthly recurring businesses. So we switched to that a few months ago, but we spent the bulk of a year not on it, and it definitely hurt us. We also launched as a desktop application in early 2015. in at least in the marketing niche, desktop applications, I feel like are just dead. Like you just do not see them at all, and nobody wants to use them anymore. So there were a lot of these mistakes that we made that were a function of really not doing the proper research up front. I mean, I did a ton of reading about all these things, but somehow I missed some of the most obvious things, like what payment processor you should use, or what platform you should use, or how you should write your code base, and all these things that like you don't really realize until much later on. What to do. Outside of that, I think that we did also do a lot of things right, to be fair. And I think one of the things we're doing now is really like investing for the future a lot more. There's sometimes you'll come across a tool or something like that's maybe a little bit on the expensive side, and you don't really want to quite spend the money on it at the time. But what I realize is that 3 to 6 months later, you end up being ready for that tool, but the switching cost of having gone with maybe something else is just really frustrating and annoying, and almost going to be more expensive. And it's better to invest in things that maybe are a little bit above where you're at, but allow you to sort of grow into them,
Absolutely. Now, with regards to what you do you have any service or a product that you would want our listeners to be aware of, so should they want to work with you?
Sure. I mean, we have Ninja Outreach, which you can find us on ninjaoutreach.com. That's a blogger outreach software. So if you're a marketing agency or an entrepreneur, small business, e-commerce, SaaS businesses, it's a great marketing tool for finding bloggers to do content marketing promotion with. We also have a done-for-you service, which is more of like it's a more high level done for you, basically blogger outreach service, where you simply let us know what types of marketing you want done in terms of link building or guest posts or things like that, and we just secure those opportunities for you, and we use our software to do it. So we do have those different options for different businesses.
Excellent, thank you. Now, if somebody's thinking there's so many other software out there, and what makes yours particularly the best one, what would you say to them?
The compliments that we usually get about the tool are, number one, is priced very fairly. It's basically it's probably tied for the cheapest thing on the market. I mean, there are a few other tools that are maybe the same price as it, but there really isn't anything cheaper for what it does. And there's a lot of things that are much more expensive. So that's one thing, obviously, that just everybody likes. But aside from just the price, people really enjoy the user interface. They feel like it's easy to use, pleasant to use, looks nice, functions well, and feels like it was built, in the 21st century. So, I mean, those types of things, it being user friendly, really benefit, small businesses that they just have a lot of other things on their plate, a lot of other things they're trying to do, and they don't really want to invest tons of time into learning one specific tool because it's difficult to use. So I think that is one of our strong points.
Incredible. Now, talking about blogging, certainly it has resulted in good fruit for you. How has that happened, for the last year for you?
Thank you for listening to Yeukai Business Show. We will be back to bring you more episodes with success stories and advice straight from the experts. Want more? Check out www.yeukaibusinessshow.com. Get your free trial of our virtual assistant service today. Just visit www.worldoutsourcingsolutions.com. Quote WOS18 or send us an email at support@worldoutsourcingsolutions.com.